One of the big factors we lost out on last game were those big flanks from Haichao. I think in game number 1 they were very, very consistent. In game 2 they were almost non-existent. We do want to see the Kazande locked in here from Hoya. Is that going to be the pick? The Kennen still available was pretty big, but maybe there's just another counter available to it now, as it is the Kazande locked in.
TT, I think, feeling much better than game 1, where game 1, remember, TT were on red, and they gave over both the Nico and the Kazande, despite the fact that they could have done this and just made sure one outright. So Kazande, Wukong probably going to be the follow-up here. Does mean you're giving over the Aphelios to the opposite side, but, I mean, again, when we already know we're going to get the Aphelios Jinx trade, does it matter all that much? I don't think so.
Like I said, Aphelios is 0-2 so far, so yeah, I think it matters.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
I mean,
right.
I think it matters now, Lyric. I think it matters.
TT with the key learnings of the past 2 games.
Take the Aphelios. We don't want that. It is a very big comfort for Envyy. I think it's super huge to point out, but I'm interested how they can make it work, because we have seen both times tonight Aphelios does a lot of damage, looks really good in big moments. Maybe one ulti goes wide, things like that. But it needs to be that holistic carry at this point. See if that priority is going to be worth it. Something else that maybe is worth a priority would be this Graves, where Meteor just destroyed the game number 1, and it's locked in.
Now for TT, again, you would assume you just match AD carry here. I guess you could dive deeper in the pool. You did point out it is Huanfeng, who does have a few of his like quirkier champions if he is willing.
Nope.
But they just go for the safer option in the end. They do bring out the Jinx. I like that you highlighted that Envyy looked great on the Aphelios, even in the last game, right? He had some moments where he looked like he was going to single-handedly outplay TT enough for them to be able to bring home the win. So still might be a fine pick for the side of LGD going this time around. We're going to fall into that dynamic that we have before. But I'm really just looking at TT and, again, getting Ucal on something that has a bit of presence. Right now, they're looking to take away some of these strong dueling top laners. We hit on that's what fearness really used to be known for, kind of on his stints coming in and out of the LPL, was wanting to go more and be more of a carry threat for LGD.
Look at that focus, at least in the second phase. We get the Ahri ban away from Ucal, so another tried and true, but I think still has a lot of things in the pocket there for Ucal. Was playing a lot of champions last split as well. Want to see what this final focus is for TT, though. They've got to focus some more of this top lane, maybe get the Kazante some more matchup, because we've obviously seen the Kazante be so huge from that game number 1, right? Like, that was a huge tipping point. And game 2, top lane, was also a huge tipping point. So a good matchup up there could do wonders. We actually get the Lulu final ban.
Now I wonder if LGD just go for the stock and standard and also take away the Annie. Nico just fine into both Annie and Ahri, just taking away, again, a lot of these like A+ and S tier meta options in mid lane. You're not as afraid of the Jace coming out for TT, considering they already have, you know, an AD top laner and jungler. So they are going to need to go into the pool of AP champions. Honestly, Nico just doesn't have a lot of great answers that are in the meta, because things that work really well into Nico are like some of these longer range champions. Things like the Azir do like pretty well because you can outrange her, and then you also have the Emperor's Divide for the ultimate. If you wanted to be even weirder, like going towards like Vel'Koz's and things along those lines. So,
let's go!
Oh, this is a bit spicy.
The Ace Soul makes it in for Ucal.
And I am so interested in seeing how this one goes. Not a matchup I'm familiar with, but Soul, a champion who is way more heavily indexed into scaling, right? And your damage kind of coming as you get like more stacks with your passive online, being able to influence team fights. Nico, much more of a lane bully. We've seen what she can do, and now LGD. My God, I love it. They make sure they have the engage and they have the all-in this time around. You have the Malphite ult into the Pot Blossom, Moonlight Vigil on top of it, going back to the stock and standard wombo combo. And you know, after 20 minutes of us just posturing, not doing much, it's going to make for some fun team fights.
We actually get the Nautilus in the end. I was actually sold on the Braum, but the Nautilus comes through for JinJiao. We're looking for some of that presence. A lot of forward engage for LGD now. They will just be pulling out all the stops in that fashion. And I'm interested at how TT either peel themselves out of that or find an engage of their own.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, they already have enough engage options on the table, so they do just end up locking in the Sprawl and trying to neutralize. In
the
this
Leona.
I do think it works out. Oh, no, you're right. So matching punch for punch, going for the Leona. A long time kind of viewed as the better answer into the Nautilus because Nautilus would hook you in. You are tankier than him with the shield coming out from your own W. And also like a surprising amount of damage for a tank support champion. And also just going to put more threat onto Envyy now. So many more things you have to look out for. So I love it. We ended up with some, once again, spicier drafts like we wanted. Ball's going to be in Ucal's court. We've been building him up as kind of the big carry, the big man who TT is built around. So for LGD, getting Meteor back on comfort, keeping Envyy on something he likes, and it seems like we've got everything we need for a bit of a nice game 3.
Yeah, Haichao's third game of Nico as well. Somehow he's gotten a hold of that champion every time. We'll see what the Aurelion Sol matchup into Nico is like, but specifically, the big showcases right now are, as you said earlier, can Meteor have another reminiscing performance on the Graves with the game 1 that he had? Incredible 11-0-4, and now Ucal whipping out a new champion, wanting to get that scream under his belt for a win for TT. Both these two teams need to come out of week 1 with a positive lyric. They got to find a series win, and one of them will come away from this game with that first win of the summer split. It's a lot to focus on, but we got the all-in nature of LGD versus a heavy late game composition with some team fight added sauce on there for TT. We'll see as they hit the rift now for game number 3, who will come out on top.
On to the rift already. Game 3 coming out. Bolt's looking so close in skill in this series so far. And again, our eyes are really going to have to be on Ucal. What he's able to do with this Aurelion Sol. I would expect him to go down in the laning phase, but as ASL, you do quickly get to a point where you can kind of just have a bit of an uninteractive laning phase, clear out the minions with your ability, start to roam around, because of course when you do pick up this champ, it is all about the movement that your Astral Flight brings and really being able to impact team fights.
Love me some of those cheers and a little bit of fun. You guys just try to get the arcade comet proc. Uh-oh. JinJiao. Okay, not gonna vulture. I love one. Had the rockets ready for Huan Fang. But I do wonder if we get an adaptation in terms of, I guess, aggression in this third game, because with the compositions, at least, it seems like LGD definitely want to hit the go button and hit it real fast, real hard. But I'm wondering how that works out in the way that we've seen the game play out so far, because we have seen some pretty lax early games into some sporadic fighting in the mid game, and could continue to be the case here.
Yeah, I think that would definitely benefit TT side, who in my mind outscale in terms of just raw damage. Like, again, Aurelion Sol getting the, like, collecting more Stardust, enabling his abilities more. Honestly, it doesn't even feel like a great champ until you have that Breath of Light at rank 5, and then, you know, don't really have to worry about that channel duration. The one thing I'll give for LGD is, you know, they still have a solid amount of damage as the game goes on, especially having that Graves in jungle, but Malphite is also another one of those champions that kind of warps the game around him, in the sense that if you hit one great ultimate late game, even if you're behind, even if it looks like you shouldn't win, that could be enough to turn the tides and give you the game.
Another big thing here is that Beichuan actually has done an invade. For the first time, it feels like I've ever seen in the LPL, like a full invade, all 3 camps, and Meteor did not expect that. There's a whole like Beichuan's whole entire jungle is available to him now, and that sets a huge tempo precedence for Beichuan.
Honestly, and it's just doing unexpected things like that can really catch people off guard. I still remember, I think it was MSI last year, where someone did a level 3 gank in a meta of farming junglers. I think it was EG against RNG, and RNG just fell for it, got like level 3 gank top, died, jungler walked to mid, killed, you know, Xiaohu, died, and it just kept going like that. So sometimes bringing something that isn't as standard in the current meta you're doing is enough to find
Beichuan's got to pick up the tempo here. He's got to be able to try to match the other side and meet Meteor, but Meteor's going to be already on his chicken nuggets.
I mean, it's still fine. I mean, even if Meteor gets this right, we see Beichuan's coming in.
Oh, no! No!
Oh, you're right. That wasn't what you needed. Gonna have to run away in the end, not even get the full camp. Hoya was even starting to make his way down, so that doesn't equalize whatsoever.
What do? You just sit there and twiddle your thumbs? Like, he's got to wait so long for minions to spawn for him. And yes, he could go back bottom lane because they're pushing. But that's a long walk.
Oh, look though. Since he did show on the wave, I believe,
Yeah,
Beichuan
he's
now
going
making his
straight
way
down.
towards bot, so not gonna give Meteor anything. And look, TT's bot lane's already here.
Dude, they're just playing blocker right now against Meteor. This is actually incredible. Beichuan just put on his best linebacker uniform here at this point.
If you missed game 1, Meteor ended the game 11-0 on Graves. TT this time around looking to make sure that that doesn't even get close to happening. And to kind of elsewhere, looks like the mid lane matchup does go as you'd expect. Again, Nico, pretty strong laning champion against anything that doesn't, severely outrange her. A lot of damage in your kit, not too high of mana costs. The like on-hit passive from your W as well means like even just getting in auto attacks feels very worthwhile. And will look to maintain presence.
Now I do wonder how much priority we get on the dragons as well. I think obviously Beichuan needs to go finish his Krug so they can get the next reset on them here. But I wonder how much presence we do get around these early objectives. We've seen go to 7 dragons in game 1, 6 in game 2. Are we going down the ladder or are we going up the ladder at this point? And it will be told soon on how much these dragons mean to both sides.
TT will definitely have the advantage in that regard from the fact that they've been able to maintain, push and be able to win out in this 2v2 in bot side. Honestly, just both counterparts, right? Jinx with the outrange and then Leona with just more tankiness, more damage in the early game to make sure that that goes on. But we are even getting to a point where ults are coming online, so that could be a factor. Like if Haichao hits level 6, he keeps pressure in mid, then maybe you could use mid jungle to lean down and influence that bot lane that way.
JinJiao catching the Zenith Blade in the middle of the animation is actually pretty big. Also, I see a Sheen for Beichuan, which, try to go on a little bit more of a damage center potentially with that Divine Sunder. But obviously typical for the Wukong. We'll see that item completion come through, but they're actually going to take that engage, and Meteor's right around the corner here. Gravitum is there. Yuyanjia doesn't really have anything out but the flash. The Gravitum connects on the other side of it, and here comes JinJiao with the Dread Line. This should just be first blood, and it goes to none other than Meteor.
Buy enough time for the jungle to make his way down. Waited on the flash, but Envyy was doing a great job by holding the Gravitum to make sure he didn't proc that one. And then by that time, Hook comes up again. So nice job there, Hoya. Will at least look to try and find his own lead in this top side. Great CS lead, and even getting that play to try to at least give us his contrast, right? TT winning top side. Oh, you're right.
It's okay. It's okay. It happens. All right, it happens. He will lose a decent amount that wave. That really sucks. But getting back onto the map is the importance because we got a dragon. And we actually see a lot of pings coming out from TT around that objective.
I believe TT was even one of the teams who played ASOL back in spring. 2 people come to mind was him and Rookie. I know at least both played at once. Is Meteor now should be forced off this, but with JinJiao wrapping around, they might be able to force a fight.
Go back to the noodle fight in top lane. Hoya will get the unstoppable force out, actually, from fearness. Mid lane, though, they're catching out Ucal. He doesn't have any escape but the flash to pop blossom. And here comes one more auto attack from Haichao to pick up a kill. 2 for LGD now.
I'm so happy that LGD now, again, we've seen them have more proactive options before, and they didn't take advantage of it, right? We've had very slow early games. This time around, they're doing it. They're utilizing the tools they have. They're roaming JinJiao around the map. They're taking advantage of the fact that Aurelion Sol is more of like a bit of a scaling champion, right? You need to wait to get some levels under your belt, get some items where you really have a big impact. And they're just taking advantage and starting to build not only a gold lead, but also getting these dragons stacking. 2
plates in mid lane for Haichao, 20 CS as well. There's some serious CS discrepancies across the board right now, looking at the solo lanes. But now with another objective out on the map, we got Rift Herald #1 available and ready to go. Got to wonder how much priority becomes of that now that TT are really looking for something back on the map.
Talking about TT and going back a little bit to the top lane fight, it's also always worth if Hoya uses ult and forces fearness to ult in return. Fearness ult definitely has more potential to win out bigger for LGD in team fights than I would say Hoya's does for TT side.
I should see Meteor come to contest this potentially. Not going to stray too far, actually. Beichuan just making his way through, realizing there could be some trouble afoot. Hoya looking for a little bit of a knockback on a fearness. Not going to find anything there. And actually, want to see a little bit of this pressure given from this mid lane, because Haichao was actually out on the roam. Doesn't have the Pop Blossom. Doesn't have the setup just yet. Ooh, the Rift Herald does get started. I was hoping for a flip.
So yeah, I thought they'd look to start that one up as well. Also looks like Ucal, of course, making his way towards the Rylai's first to be able to get that slow going. And I wonder if, for the side of TT, if they'll even look to contest yet. I will say the big power spike I'm looking at for LGD is when that Rocket Belt is finished by Haichao. Because to me, that's when they'll definitely have, like, okay, you already have nice engage. Haichao now has an even easier way to gap close. You're going to have more damage than your counterpart. And it feels like that first item mark is really where LGD can look to just start exploding this game open.
Yeah, and as soon as those items start coming through, I mean, you're already like 1.4K ahead for Haichao over Ucal, which is huge in its own right, but it's about how you utilize that. And I think they will continue to try to put pressure
Mazel
around. Yep.
He even has it.
Sub
so
10 minutes.
Now online.
Might be one of the fastest.
Now it's about what they look to do, because now they also have the Rift Herald, right? Rift Herald up. You can maybe look to start like leaning. I think mid would be the easiest place. You've already broken down 2 plates, and now you have more movement available for Haichao. You're breaking open potentially both sides of the enemy jungle to get that vision down, and now with Ghostblade there as well. Like, you break down mid lane turret and just go for big plays in the enemy bot side jungle and really just look to abuse Beichuan and make Huanfeng and Yuyanjia's life annoying.
The question becomes, when does Hoya get to have say in any of the action? Maybe not soon enough. But that Sunfire also complete for fearness. So LGD are just ahead of the ball game right now, getting these mythics completed. And that's exactly what their comp beckons to. They want to be ahead of the game. They want to be in pole position. They don't want to have Envyy caught out here. And it looks like it won't be the case. The Ghost actually got popped by Huanfeng in the end.
They did know that members of LGD were around that bot side, because one of the trade-offs of LGD getting that Rift Herald was TT littered LGD's bot side jungle with wards. Some of them got cleared up, but as we can see on the minimap, most of them still being there.
Big class on mid lane right now, as that Rift Herald is coming and knocking. You're going to be trying to get at least another couple plates here. Should be able to get 2 more for Haichao. So that'll be 4 total plates for Haichao in mid lane. We finally get the item completions for Envyy and Huanfeng there. Huanfeng actually completing the Berserker Greaves as well. Defense comes through. I don't think they have enough range damage right now to take down this outer tower.
No, not going to be able to do it, but still. Nice chunk, and we've already seen Haichao just continuously abusing this. And JinJiao and Meteor, ooh, yuyanjia, is he going to fall for it? Doesn't look like it. Yes, he will, Mazel. Yes, he will.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Oh, not enough Spider-Man tactics, but he got the depth charge. Everything going to be used at flash preemptively, trying to get out, but yuyanjia, he'll find himself dead. And he was out on a roam, just like we said we wanted him to, but LGD will punish him for it.
They still might be able to contest Drake. I mean, Drake's still 25 seconds away. Yuyanjia's about to be up in 2 seconds. You're now missing, I guess, only 1 key ultimate coming out from that Nautilus. But that might be enough of a, of a small advantage to be able to look for it. Especially now that you do have items coming out for the side of TT. Rylai's finally finished up by Ucal. Hoya picking up that Frozen Fist.
Couple more plates going down, though, to fearness. Man, this plate game is going in heavy favor so far of LGD. Couple given back, obviously, to Hoya with his advantage he had earlier on. But so to speak, I mean, that's pretty huge for LGD. Now we look at TT actually positioning through this bottom lane to try to get some vision around this dragon.
You know, Mazel, I know we're at a pivotal point in this game. I just want to point out I miss AL. I miss casting Uncle Cho. And, that's just going to be the one throwaway point, because TT starting this dragon, LGD might have a pincer maneuver. Oh, wait.
Not going to hit the solar
Another
flare.
Just wasted.
Yeah. Ooh, we do have the Skies Descend now available for Ucal. And if you don't know, that's when he brings a giant rock from space. And he hits the ground and knocks everybody up. It does a lot of damage. And it looks really cool.
Really does. Still not really in a point where it looks like they'd want to fight. LGD are close to JinJiao having his ulti back up.
They
and now
want
they
to
know
use
there's
this
going
on
to be
this
quite a
dragon
timer
fight,
on
right?
Yuyanjia.
You want to utilize it, I feel like, as fast as you can so you can start stacking up the next one. But maybe not. Maybe you just want to hold it.
I want to keep my eyes on fearness, because fearness just hit level 11. So rank 2 in the ulti, can TP down and impact this dragon if he needs to, but I really think TT should just opt into giving it up.
Yeah, there's no TP wards, nothing else available to him right there. We'll just be walking back to lane, though, so both top laners will be keeping those TPs. You do have some wards in the fight. Okay, Hoya's going to be the first one to pull the trigger. Envyy is all by himself down on the bottom side of it. We will get the TP now from fearness. They're setting up here. Meteor's in the back of the pit. Can he get this Dragon Smite? No, he's not even going to go for it. They're just going to try to engage. Meteor, like, wants out of this fight, but he's not even in it yet. That's a big flash. The skies have descended, but is Ucal's damage going to be enough? You've got tanky man fearness in front line. As the Moonlight Vigil does come through, that's going to be the Proto Belt. And now yuyanjia goes down again.
LGD win out, but it feels like, again, another play that should have been won out way harder than it was. They don't pick up Dragon in the end. Do get a kill in return, but I feel like the difference maker being Hoya getting in there now for TT, buying himself a bit of time with that Drake.
Envyy has no mana. He gets burned. Not enough. Ucal can't get it.
You know, back in the day, that wouldn't have been possible because there was no Gale Force. But I do believe he actually still had Flash Up, so it might have been possible. As we see here, I feel like the problem already started with the fact that you're the ones preemptively making the play, and the enemy top laner is getting in a solid, like, 2 seconds before you. And then waiting so long to use the Malphite ultimate. Yeah, the collateral damage.
That was a big
nice, nice ult from Ucal. But so many people already chunked so low. Sure, you finish one off. I feel like for LGD, had they been more decisive in pulling the Malphite trigger, that sets up for like a better Moonlight Vigil, and maybe just take 2 people out of the fight outright. I think they were a little concerned with people like Meteor being a little bit split up because of the Cassante and wanting to deal with him first. But at that point, I feel like you cut your losses. Even if Meteor goes down, you would probably end up killing more of TT than you lost.
And somehow, some way, just like fate, Meteor finds a way. 11-0-4 in game number 1 of this series on the Graves. He is now sitting at 3-0, 16 minutes in. Big spikes, and now LGD continuing that rush with this Rift Herald.
So they'll be able to extend their gold lead even more, sitting at 2,000 right now. And for LGD, opting for minimal changes coming into this split off the back of another season where LGD sadly weren't really able to make a good run, a good impression. Long time since 2020 when, you know, they were a presence on the global stage. In a pretty good place to at least pick up a win in this series, which an early win's a great confidence boost to propel you forward into more wins in the season.
Especially against competition that'll be vying for similar positioning as we go through the regular season, at least if stories are to be told of what's happened in the past. And I think these kinds of wins, especially again going off of what we've seen from both sides, but particularly LGD, like this is going from dead to alive. This is Frankenstein's monster coming through here, because LGD have actually found strategies that work and then they can execute on it, right? And that's far cry from what happened in their first series of the split.
Yeah, and I think looking at it is fearness, I think should be fine. Still has his ultimate to be able to get away. It is forced out.
They're gonna still go dive. Yeah, he better just run.
He should be fine. Yeah, he's gonna get out. He's gonna get out just fine. But like giving context to this match from spring, like this was, I believe, 8th place TT, and LGD finished in 14th. And again, both teams made very minimal roster changes. So the fact that TT have come out, and even in their loss, like shown some good stuff, shown better understanding of the map. Envyy really has been working out well for the squad, better than LPC really was back in spring. It's great to see. And even losing Xiaoshu, I think Xiaoshu's a huge loss for LGD. Bringing fearness back and still making it work, at least in the series.
All right, Hoya going all out onto fearness. Who wins this tank battle 1v1? It looks like fearness doesn't want that smoke, but Hoya does.
It'll always be Cassante.
Smack, 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 smack. You'd say this all day. Both walk away. Wow, a gentleman's agreement.
I'm surprised too. It looks like Hoya was sure he'd win. Kind of was as well. Like Cassante is one of those champions that feels like he's just overloaded with boatloads of damage. And then once fearness like started hitting him, he's like, oh wait, maybe this isn't the best idea.
Haichao getting collapsed on potentially bot side if Beichuan wanted to go for it. Won't be so. They will spot him out doing the red buff though. See if they want to try to contest maybe. Nope. Okay, Haichao. Not going to go for it. But Dragon is spawning in about 23 seconds. You got that collector completed second item for Meteor yet again. And we'll see the fight resume around this pit.
Gonna come on in. We can see
guys
Hoya topside does have TP. And there are wards if Hoya did want to try and find a nice flank. But look, fearness finds the flank first.
Ucal's waiting to use it. Here comes the Sky's Descent. Envyy goes for that Moonlight Vigil. He's able to do a lot. Fearness and Haichao are on a flank, but they can't get to the team fast enough. Beichuan, he goes down to the tower. Now you've got to deal with Haichao and Fearness, but there's 2 kills that had already gone to Beichuan. Got to look for this unstoppable force. It's not going to be utilized. They don't feel like they can take down Wanpong.
Sadly, the small details end up biting LGD. Now
Fearness just
even
gets
more
caught
fight
at
goes
this
down.
point. This is when you really wish you were AP Malphite, because you could just end one of these people's life right now. But you can't do that as tank just yet. Not going to pull the trigger on it.
TT going to be able to convert this into a dragon with the fact that Meteor is still down. I assume we'll get a replay of that one soon, but I love the idea by LGD, right? The huge 2-man flank coming in. Oh, no.
No way.
Do they do this? If they do this, I love them. Sign me up with the LGD fan club.
Oh my
Actually,
goodness. Okay,
they do still have Malphite and Nico
They
ult,
do.
and
They didn't use
TT have
any
low
of
health
it.
bars.
Oh,
Let's do it. Let's start a Baron.
Start up your friendly neighborhood Baron.
This is
All right, so now
my
I'm gonna
LPL.
take your order now. So you said cheese, right? You said lettuce. You said onions. Do you like ketchup, mayo, mustard? What do you like on your burger? Because we're flipping it right now on the grill.
We're getting everything. Mazel's engage comes through.
Get the everything burger onto Hoya. Collateral damage will make him go down. And now, without the Cassante, how did TT turn a fight? They get the TP in from Ucal. He has crown completed. Is it going to be the moment? He doesn't have the Sky's Descend. Does have a little bit of damage, though. There's the Falling Star, and Mega Death Rocket actually rings true. And the 50-50 will not be so. The burger stopped flipping in midair as Wanpong got that kill.
I still just want to see them be more decisive. You still have Malphite and Nico ult.
They just haven't used them.
They're trying to do such they're trying to play so by the book of keeping them far and not just Envyy. Forced to blow everything to escape
there. You go, he's dead. One more shot. Oh, no.
Wait,
no.
wait.
How is he still alive? Okay, Envyy finally kills him. Haichao dies here now, though. And then Dragon's Breath is not enough. Ucal, you might want to make your exit the other way at this point. Yuyanjia actually survives this time as well. And the comp is starting to come online for TT here, Lyric.
Just so many strange decisions around fights. You know, ignore map play, macro, whatever. Just the way these teams are approaching fights, leaving leaving a lot of back and forth going through. I can't believe Wanpong did not die sooner, getting locked down, the damage coming out from Envyy. Which replay are we going to go to? So we're going to go to this one. Here, again, they don't want to let Beichuan get close. But I feel like you should be more open to letting Beichuan get a little bit closer and then open up with Fearness's ult. Use the fact that you have these big AoE ultimates and take a fight win instead of just trying to play it a little too perfect. Here we're going to see forced back to begin with. Goes down. And I guess the big difference maker... I guess the big difference maker being those flame chompers, meaning that Envyy can't get in range to throw it in auto sooner. Oh, I did not notice that on the first watch through. That hurts for Wanpong.
Our observers always love it. They twist the knife.
To be fair to him, Meteor was on the opposite side of that wall, so he was dead no matter what.
It was, so what you're saying is he meant to do that. He was like, I don't want to give the kill to Meteor. I'm going to fail the flash. All right, cool. Now we're good. We do have LGD just posturing for a fight. They want the fight. They want to take it. They want to either flip the Baron or take the fight. One of the two. And they have their abilities ready to go. They have all their engage. We said it was so potent coming out of the draft. Now it just has to be utilized.
We have power in different places going into the next fight too. Look at mid lane. 2 items for Ucal. But Haichao now actually just finishing up his Shadow Flame coming off base. Meteor we already know is large. Fearness also I believe has more gold than Hoya does. Even if CS is quite close. I think he did get a couple more plates than the Cassante. But looking out, I mean, I don't care about that stuff. Just once again, I feel like it's a lot around top laners today in their play. We didn't see any big, like huge Kennen ultimates from Hoya earlier. This time around, we're not really seeing fearness, not find the opportunities, but not even like capitalize on the opportunities to go with that big ultimate.
Well, we get the OK corral going on here yet again. Both teams just staring at each other menacingly. See who's going to go in first. As Meteor is nowhere near the spike that he was in that game number 1. He's definitely waiting on that 3rd item, but fearness is going to be that tank. Takes up a majority of that. I will just say Ucal's getting probably pretty close to another Sky's Descend, and their scaling is really starting to come aligned. You're getting close to that 3rd item for Hwanfeng as well. We're not there just yet, and we got a dragon coming up in 35 seconds, so it's Postureville here in the LPL.
Look, Mazel, both of these teams need to hear this. Cobra Kai's about to be in its last season. You need to strike hard, strike first, show no mercy, live by the Cobra Kai motto, bring in John Kreese to coach your teams, and just go.
They didn't get the message.
They didn't.
They didn't.
They've not seen Cobra Kai.
They have not seen Cobra Kai. I actually haven't seen Cobra Kai. But Sky's Descent is available for Ucal now. That'll be a big trigger pull for them. Look at LGD, though. They are just so hungry to try to get something here. Maybe they have just found Beichuan, who does have to use the dash.
One of the reasons why TT have to be careful is Hwanfeng still has no flash. Envyy has both of his summoners up. He's feeling fine. Sure, Haichao's flash might not be up as well, but you're cooldown based, right? You're not going to be dealing the same amount of DPS as that Ophelio, so I feel like I like that LGD are being the aggressors, but I also like that TT realize, hey, we want to wait for this Jinx flash to come back up before we're going to contend with a Nautilus and a Malphite.
I'm feeling another 40-minute banger going on here. Oh!
That was close.
If Meteor was there, that was a steal, but he was smartly to the side, knowing there's no way I'm letting Hwanfeng do this to me.
Oh, are we doing this again?
LGD. LGD. Okay, we're doing it. Sky's Descent available. They are willingly taking this fight. See if they want to go in for the engage. Don't find it there. Hoya, trying to find Meteor on the side. Collateral damage didn't have to be used, so Meteor's still having a lot of cooldowns, and they're going to force the fight yet again.
And they're going to go right back to it. They want this again. We need to keep our eyes on fearness. He needs to be able to find more than the last time around. Haichao trying to wrap around and get his hands on a
so
flank.
Long, though.
Hwanfeng's flash is finally back up.
Oh,
actually, no, it might still be 1 second off.
JinJiao going in. He gets knocked back. Oh, no, he's getting burned down. Oh, the ulti missed from fearness. Got the Pop Blossom on the side. It's a split fight. yuyanjia following fearness over. Everything's going to hell in a handbasket for LGD as they get one back. But here comes yuyanjia with an engage, and Ucal bringing the flame of the dragon's breath while Hwanfeng sitting in the corner excited. And LGD's Meteor will get one back. That'll be 2 full kills for him. But there are 3 members breathing down his neck, and one of them's name is Hwanfeng.
Absolute tragedy for LGD, but TT gonna benefit off of it. Hwanfeng untouched, and now gonna pivot over to the Baron. They're gonna get all these, all the pushing power. They're gonna get all the gold, and my God, are they gonna be able to just run LGD over after this?
There was a table that was there. It was set up nicely. Now it's turned over. It's upside down.
I think I was wrong. I think Hwanfeng's flash was still in cooldown for like 1 or 2 more seconds, and the fact that fearness misses this is egregious. Not able to connect. You have a huge ulti coming out from the Aurelion Soul. Nico's not able to get in there. Like, seriously, everything that this combo relied on went wrong. Nice job by TT marking their flanks.
They didn't need to go for the Baron. They don't need to force that fight. Yes, they're scaling for TT, but hey.
Yeah. The thing is, I understand the logic. Like, seriously, the enemy AD carry has no flash. You know they're going to outscale you. You want to force the fight. Like, I actually think the idea is fine, and it's right. Like look for that fight, make that play. But your Malphite cannot be missing an ult on a flashless Jinx. Yeah. Flashless Jinx.
But it was because it was just that it was a little bit of desperation there, right? You're just a little bit out of range, but you want to make it happen so badly because that is a difference maker. But then that ends up being a difference maker the other way. TT have completely turned this game around, and now they're completely in the driver's seat, leaving LGD in the dust.
Yeah, again, the execution just wasn't there. I think the idea was fine, but the execution was about as bad as it could have been. Sorry to say for LGD, because again, we haven't praised them this series. They've been showing us some like better stuff than I think we'd expect from Spring, but TT just going to benefit off of the mistakes coming through. You now have a 4-1-4 Jinx. She's sitting at 3.5 items. So before, Envyy, I believe, was you know, holding even despite being down in CS. Now really far behind. Ucal was already up in mid lane, and now he just extends that even further with the more kills he's picked up.
Yeah, it's,
and again, Aurelion Sol's just like a scaling monster. You just keep getting more Stardust. Everything keeps just doing more stuff. As the enemy team, you don't want to go up against a Celestial Sky Dragon that has abilities. It does more stuff. You don't want that.
I imagine every time he levels up or gets another item or has anything happen to him, an emote of his scream goes off, the one that Ucal does at the beginning of every match when he comes out on the stage. I just imagine that overwhelmingly you know, targeting LG. They just can't stop hearing his scream. He's a literal dragon now, and I don't know if there's
we can see
really
the
much they can do. Yeah, I was about to say it's he's gonna be something not easily dealt with. Obviously, very tanky from that crown, but specifically now with the combo they have so much sustain around the front line that he can just be there. Now, this makes a difference. If fearness can find an angle, cannot miss that ulti yet again. He finds one spot, but he has flash this time.
Yeah, does manage to get out of there as TT going to keep trying to get some damage out.
I don't know if LGD get out of this one. The skies are going through. It's not the sky's descent just yet. It's just the falling star. But they will try to find an engaging Hoya who pushes 3 members into the wall, and now it's just a field day, like shooting fish in a barrel for Huanfeng, and he's got a big old shotgun, but more like a rocket as he's taking off into the night. That's a quadra kill for Huanfeng, and TT destroy LGD.
Quadra kill, they dive the base. They didn't even have minions. They waited out. And now, I wonder if they'll be able to go for the end. 15 seconds on JinJiao, but the carries, they're dead. TT are going to be able to get this one.
It. Huanfeng excited as all hell, coming into the starting roster here for the second series of TT Summer Split. And TT, with that help from Huanfeng, with the help from Ucal, will find their first series win of this Summer Split.
Congrats to TT. It was a messy one. This series was incredibly back and forth. Seriously, these teams look so on par in terms of like how many mistakes they're making, how many like nice plays and decision making. But at the end of the day, TT come out ahead. Sadly, LGD kind of choke at the finish line. Because let's remember this game. LGD were the ones finding all the advantages early. LGD were the ones in the driver's seat, finding the gold lead, getting things going. But the execution of those fights just was not there. It just was not there. And again, it's kind of sad when I really do feel like we saw better things from LGD in